Before we start, I just want to show you a few things. My current build is not fully built yet, as I do not have any Defense Oracle mirror at the moment. And my handbook stats are still low. As you can see, I only have 45k HP and about 1.5k attack with 11% damage. And my current base attack is roughly around 14k. To fully understand the build, let's discuss the skills. First, Suicide. Suicide or self-destruction's damage modifiers are HP, SP, VIT, and neutral damage. While Machine Revolution damage equals Suicide Destruction times 300%. Now that we know how the skills work, let's go to the stats. The stats are as follows. Max VIT for maximum HP and VIT damage modifiers. Int for maximum SP. A few dex for no casting, and the rest would be STR. Here are my current equipments. I am using plus 15 Skull Bracer with max SP enchant and Meryl Roland's card. I have Shine Hole Robe with Morale 2 and Heart card. I have plus 10 Doflamingo Cape with max tier and max HP as enchant plus Radic Star card. A special shout out to Leontoy29 of Opus Dei for sharing his ideas. For the boots, I'm using Deathcat with max HP and Tesseract card. No tiers at the moment. For the accessories, I have Hermit Bundle and ROC, both plus 12, and with Sharp Blade enchants. For the weapon, I am using plus 15 Avalanche with 2 Minor's cards, plus the Abyssal Cry on the head for Minnow Insight. For the face, I'm currently using Jungling Queen, but I also have plus 15 Athros Mouth for higher Ignore Def, especially for higher MVPs. For the mouth, I'm using Kraken Key for HP. And for the back, I'm using One Eye Captain with max HP enchant. And lastly, for the tail, I'm using Flying Quarterback with max HP enchant. You can also add Arm Cannon as secondary skill to use, since it also uses neutral damage. And Target Lock skill if you're lacking Ignore Def. To further increase your potential damage, you can maximize HP on Prayer. Try to maximize neutral damage on Blessing. And of course, try to get all the nodes on Azir Monument for neutral damage, HP percent, and SP percent. Unfortunately, my neutral damage is not maxed yet, but I'm working on it. Another thing to take note of would be on your rune box. Make sure to maximize your Poison Shadow attack rune, and this also gives neutral damage. Mine is only level 10 at the moment, so it's still not complete. Another way to increase your damage would be using pets. I'm currently using White Blaze, which gives off maximum HP plus 5%. You can also use Orc Baby, which also gives maximum HP of 5%. Now let's test the current setup, including full buff and full meal. I will be using STR, Int, Vit, Luck, and Dex Milby, as well as Satisfied Feast for additional penetration and attack. And we have 253.7 million. Now I'm gonna make a little comparison here as to why I am using the plus 10 Doflamingo cape, since I also have a different garment on hand. I have a plus 15 Dux Manchu with max HP and Mastering Star card. And let's try to check the difference in damage. And 232.8 million, a big difference in price and damage. A great difference in damage, but let's try to test it on a higher level target and see if the results are still the same. We will be testing it on Gazzetti, and take note as well that I'm using plus 10 Athros Mouth instead of Jungling Queen, just to increase the ignore def, since this monster has higher def than the weak puppet. So first we will be testing the plus 10 Doflamingo cape, and we have 131.5 million. Now let's try to use the plus 15 White Dux Mantle. Please bear in mind that it still has the Mastering Star card. Now let's try to see if the comparative difference still has the same results. And we get 137.2 million. White Duke is now stronger because of the effect of the ignore def. Now, how do you compensate that lack of ignore def if you're using that plus 10 Doflamingo cape? Simple. Just use target lock on skill. First, use target lock on the target before using Machine Revolution. Here's how it works. First, I will be casting target locked on, then followed by Machine Revolution, and we have 149.4 million. You can use this skill if you are targeting higher level MVPs and if you are lacking ignore def. For the accessories, you can use Bright Moon as a cheaper alternative, or if you have Ring of Loyalty or Survival Ring, that's also okay. For the foot gear, the best alternative foot gear, if you don't have plus 12 or plus 15 rune boots, would be the Dead Cat boots. For the offhand, you can always use Rosa Chain. And again, this video is by no means perfect or complete, but I hope you've learned something on this video. Thank you for watching and see you on my next video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See ya!